I'm at the Google office to see how people get hired.
Here's how it all went down and what hiring secrets I was able to get.
What's up, bro? Perfect, my man.
Oh, I can turn it off.
Let's backtrack to how this all happened. A few weeks ago, one of our members in our Wonsulting job search program sent me an email saying after months on his job search, he finally got an offer, and that company was at Google. Now, if you know Google, it's almost impossible to get into. There are numerous articles stating that less than 1% of people get into the company. Some even saying it's harder to get into compared to Harvard. And why? It's because everyone's applying to work there. Even this uncle can attest to that.
How do we get a job there?
Now, I worked at Google 8 years ago, and I'd say it's extremely difficult to get into, especially if you don't go to a target school or if you don't have an uncle who can hand you a job there. Nepotism for the win. Anyways, I decided to give him a visit, and I had no idea what was in store. I checked in, waited, and then it began when I saw Jaffrey.
What's up, bro? Perfect, my man.
Now, a little bit about Jaffrey. Before landing a job at Google, Jaffrey was working at Costco and thought he was going to grow his career there. He joined our Wonsulting job search program, and months into it, he got his offer in a very non-traditional way, which he'll share later. So as I was being led into the Google office, I was told that I couldn't record on the first floor.
I can turn it off.
Totally understandable. But they told me I could record as long as I didn't get people's faces in the video. Fine by me. Then Jaffrey walked me through the facilities and we first head to lunch. It was 2 p.m. so they were finishing lunch, but man, they had some bomb-ass food. They first served us a beet dip with chips, which was incredible and felt super healthy. Then they gave us steak, fries, and more. Gains for days. Insane. But that wasn't the best part. As we walked around, Jaffrey showed me more of the things Google offers to their employees. They had multiple restaurants inside, serving different types of food. You could order at a kiosk, or you could just ask them what you wanted. They had a store where you could get Google and YouTube swag. And they even had a coffee bar where they had different lattes they were serving depending on the season.
Wow.
If I worked here again, I'd gain 20 pounds easily like I did before. Yeah, that's me after a month being there 8 years ago. After checking out the views outside and the spots they work at, I had to ask Jaffrey how he was able to get his job, so I sat with him to share us the hidden secrets on how to do it.
I'm Jaffrey, joined the Wonsulting program a couple of months ago. Lo and behold, I got a job at one of my dream companies.
What struggles did you go to before you got your offer?
I think the biggest thing is it feels like a bottomless pit, kind of digging and digging and digging, only to feel like there's nothing at the end of the tunnel. Like you could go through interviews, you could go through months of interviews with the company, 4 or 5 rounds, and it's like only for them to say no. You're kind of left with this feeling of nothing. At the end of the day, it's like pretty much thinking about what you can control and what you can't. Can't really control the interview outcomes. You can probably control the preparations. Every time I would go through something, like I would just prepare better for the next time.
How were you able to go back into the process? I remember you had a very non-traditional strategy and non-traditional way of getting back, but how did you do that?
I kept in touch with the recruiter.
Yeah.
So first hiring manager, it didn't work out. So then I just kept asking the recruiter, is there any other roles available? And they would oftentimes say no. But then I just asked this other thing. At what point can I reach back to you? And I would let them dictate the cadence and the pace so that they're comfortable with me reaching out to them. It's a mutual thing. My first recruiter said, reach out to me every month. I set like a calendar notification that should reach out to this recruiter this time, this day, and it was recurring every month. She replied with a new, role that opened the doors to where it's like I met other recruiters and I would do the same thing with them as well. That kind of snowballed into me getting interviews for roles that were not even in the system.
Incredible. You had such brilliant resilience. I remember you came to the weekly group calls, always ask questions, and look where you are today. It's freaking awesome. How important was networking?
I think without networking, you're just another nail in the cog. Anyone and everyone is applying, and I'm also applying. You have to apply, but at the same time, the people on the other side are also humans. They're just trying to find the fastest way for them to do their job. If you can position yourself in their vision where they think about you, the next job that they have that actually matches your resume, they might think, hey, Joffrey or Jonathan reached out to me. They have something similar. There's a higher chance of them referring you to other hiring managers. And when they do that, guarantee you're going to get an interview because you're a warm lead. You're already, in the system. They already vouch for you and you're more trustworthy.
What advice would you give them?
Pick a set number of applications that you apply for and see how many interviews you're getting from there, if any. The golden number that I can think of is, let's say, 50 50 job applications. And if you get no interviews from that, the next thing you could probably do, okay, is like A/B test. So you would probably fix your resume, tweak it a bit. I would definitely do impact rather than task. People like to see what you achieved rather than what you did. Like you could pour this water bottle, except, or could say that you basically quenched someone's thirst by pouring them a water bottle. So essentially that's like more like impact. If you do that, you have a higher chance of your resume getting picked.
After Jaffrey shared incredible tips and game on how to land a job at Google, it had me reflecting about all the job seekers out there looking to work at these companies or just looking for work. And sometimes it is hard to work at these companies, but once you're able to, you'll see a huge difference in your lifestyle. For better or maybe for worse. But anyways, I headed home and had to share some takeaways to cap off the day.
Wow, what a day at Google. It's incredible to see one of our members actually get an offer there, and I want to share some takeaways. For example, Jaffrey stayed in touch with the recruiter even though he got rejected for the final round, and that allowed him to get another interview with another recruiter, getting him that job offer. And that's what happened to me before. I actually did the same strategy and was able to get another interview at LinkedIn after I got rejected for the final round, and so can you. Number 2, your background matters, but also your story is so much more important. Jaffrey worked at Costco for a couple of months and thought he was just going to move up the corporate ladder there. But because he believed in himself and he was able to share his story, he then got this opportunity at Google and so many more companies to interview from. Have a motivational story and why you want to work at that particular company, and you'll see that it will pay dividends. And last but not least, the worst thing that can happen when you apply to your dream job is you get rejected. But the best thing that can happen is you get an opportunity. Jaffrey, before our job search program, didn't even think that he could get into Google. But once he started to gain that confidence, whether it was from our coaches or getting those interviews, he was able to take a step forward and get that opportunity. I hope that can happen to each and every one of you so you can get that dream opportunity. And that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if there are any other companies you think I should look into and see how they hire, comment them down below. And if you want to see more of these, like and subscribe. You can also check out this video where I talk about a crazy way I try to get hired on my job search so you can too.